My love, this video will answer everything you feared, and as it begins, I want you to take a deep breath and let the silence between the words speak to your heart. I know you've questioned my loyalty, my intentions, even my love. I've seen the uncertainty in your eyes, the way you hesitate before speaking your truth, holding your breath for the answers you deserve. This, right here, is not just a confession. It's a release, an unveiling of every shadow I never meant for you to carry alone. There were moments when I failed to show up for you, when I seemed distant or distracted, as if the weight of the world was more important than your hand reaching out for mine. But I need you to know, those moments were never about a lack of love. They were about fear. My fear. Of not being enough. Of being seen. Of letting someone as pure as you witness the brokenness in me. I thought protecting you meant hiding parts of myself, when in truth, love is in the revealing. I remember the night you cried and asked, "What are we really?" And I froze, not because I didn't know, but because I did. You were home. You were peace. And that terrified me more than chaos ever could. Because when you find someone who reflects the truest version of who you are, you have everything to lose. That kind of love strips you bare. But here I am, stripped. Honest. Yours. There was never another. Never a second choice. Never a flicker of doubt about you. The world is loud, tempting, cruel, and sometimes we get caught in its storm. But in every whirlwind, I searched for your face. In every silence, I prayed for your voice. I need you to know that not a single day passed without you in my thoughts, even when my actions were slow to prove it. Even when I fell short, it was always you I wanted to rise for. You feared abandonment, and I understand now that your past wasn't just history, it was a map you navigated every time I stepped one foot back. I didn't read the signs then, but I do now. And I want you to know I'm not leaving. Not when it's hard. Not when you push. Not when the storms rage. I'll be right here. With open arms and a soul that knows your name like prayer. This video carries my voice because sometimes words written can't hold the weight of what the heart needs to release. I wanted you to see me, really see me, as I tell you that you are the miracle I never asked for but always needed. I didn't know how to be loved like this, but you're teaching me. Slowly. Gently. And I want to learn. I want to be the person who no longer feeds your fears but dissolves them in presence and truth. I see the way your eyes shift when something reminds you of pain. I see the walls you build mid-conversation. And I don't blame you. But I want to be the one who climbs over every wall, who sits with you in your silence, who says nothing when nothing needs to be said, and still makes you feel safe. That is the love I offer now. No grand promises, just quiet consistency and a heart that won't walk away. Let's rewrite what love means, you and I. Let's toss away the need to constantly prove and perform and instead settle into something deeper. Something raw, imperfect, but true. I want to be the one who reminds you that not all love leaves. That some love stays and fights and grows. This is my fight. You are my why. If you ever doubted how much I need you, I hope you see it now in my eyes, in my voice, in the pauses between these lines. You've never been a burden. You've been my awakening. My mirror. My undoing and my rebuilding. Everything you feared was never about you. It was about the ghosts I hadn't yet faced. But I'm facing them now, with you as my light. This is more than a video. It's a promise. It's me standing in the middle of everything you were afraid to ask and saying, yes. I choose you, not just in the golden moments, but in the messy ones, the ones that scare us both. I want to hold your hand through every unspoken worry and whisper, we're still here. And we're not going anywhere. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to hide the parts of you that feel too tender, too wild, too much. I crave those parts. I celebrate them. I want to know every scar, every story, every secret you thought no one could hold. Let me hold them. Let me hold you. I know there are wounds in you that even time dared not touch, wounds layered beneath smiles, beneath the brave way you carry yourself, even on days you feel like falling apart. But I want you to know, I see them. I see you. Not just the laughter, not just the strength, but the soft spaces too. The aching places you thought no one would ever stay long enough to understand. I am staying. I am learning your language, even in silence. When you look at me with that mix of hope and hesitation, I realize how sacred your trust is. It's not something you give freely, and I know I've faltered before. But every moment I've spent away from your truth has only led me back with more clarity. You are not something I ever want to risk again. Not even in silence. Not even in uncertainty. I want to be the voice that never breaks you, only builds you. Every touch, every conversation, every fight we've had, none of it has been wasted. It's all part of the mosaic we are creating, this intricate, beautifully imperfect love story that belongs to no one else but us. The beauty of this is that we keep choosing each other, even when we don't have to. Even when fear tries to interrupt. Even when we don't have the words. I remember the day I realized I loved you, not the moment I told you, but the moment I knew. It was quiet. You weren't even looking at me. You were talking about your dreams, eyes bright with hope, hands moving like poetry, and suddenly everything made sense. That moment rewrote every page of my past and every plan for my future. That was the moment you became the axis of my world. And I've made mistakes since then. I've taken you for granted, not out of malice, but out of fear that maybe you were too good to be true. That maybe if I held on too tight, you'd vanish like a dream. But you didn't. You stayed. You kept choosing me even when I gave you every reason to question if I deserved it. That loyalty, that quiet, relentless love, is what brought me here today, bearing everything. You've never asked me to be perfect. You only ever asked me to be honest. And that's what this is. Raw, unscripted truth. You wanted to know if I still care. If you still matter. If what we had was real. My answer is yes, yes, and always. I care in ways I don't even know how to explain, and you matter more than anything I've ever held in my hands. What we have is the truest thing I've ever known. There are still parts of our story unwritten, still quiet days ahead and loud storms too. But I no longer fear them, because I'm not facing them alone. You're my partner in this life, in growth, in healing, in rediscovery. We are building a world where your fears are not dismissed, but honored. Where your doubts are not silenced, but gently soothed. That is the love I offer now. A safer love. I know you've been waiting for clarity, for answers that bring peace to your racing mind. I hope this is that clarity. I hope this brings calm to every question you were too afraid to ask aloud. You don't have to wonder anymore. You don't have to guess where my heart lies. It's here. It's always been here. In your hands. Beating for you. Calling you home. Let them say love is complicated. Let them say it's a risk. But I say love, true love, is knowing the risks and still saying, yes. I will love you anyway. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. I want to love you when you're strong, but also when you're tired. I want to be your softness when the world turns cold. I want to be the one you never have to question again. So let this be your proof. Let this video, these words, this soul stripped bare be everything you needed to hear. My love, I know you feared you were too much. I know you feared being left behind. But you are not too much, and I am not leaving. You are my once in a lifetime. My forever choice. And I will spend every day proving that what we have is not just real, it's unstoppable. There's something in the way you breathe when you're asleep that reminds me what peace feels like. It's not grand gestures or wild declarations, it's the quiet certainty that I get to love you, that I still get to love you. The world may spin in chaos, but when I watch you, bare-faced, unguarded, just being, I remember why I fight so hard to keep this love alive. You are my calm. You are the soft place I never knew I needed until I found you. You once told me you didn't believe in fairy tales, that you stopped hoping for happy endings a long time ago. But my love, we're not chasing a perfect ending, we're writing something better. A real story. One with laughter and late-night talks, with missteps and make-ups, with every truth laid bare. And in this story, you're the magic. Not the fantasy. The real thing. The heart that beats through every page. I still get lost in your presence, the way your smile breaks through even the darkest days, The way you hold eye contact like you're reading my soul. No matter how many times I see you, you still take my breath away. You still make me nervous in the best way. You still make me feel alive, vulnerable, whole. That's what love is supposed to do, isn't it? Bring us back to ourselves. Sometimes I replay our memories in my mind like my favorite song. The first time we touched, the first time we fought and came back stronger, the first time I knew you could ruin me and I still wanted you anyway. You've changed the way I look at everything. You've changed me, and I never want to go back to a life that didn't have your laughter in it, your chaos, your warmth. Whatever comes next, whatever challenges or changes, we'll face them side by side. I don't have all the answers, but I have this unshakable belief in us. Not because we're perfect, but because we keep showing up. We keep choosing each other. And I'd choose you in every lifetime, under every sky, with every version of me that's ever existed. That's how deep this goes. That's how real this is. So here it is again, for the days you might forget, I love you. In every way, in every language my heart can speak. I love you not just for who you are, but for who I am when I'm with you. This love, this journey, this truth, it's all yours. My love, this video was never just a message. It's a vow. And with every word, I'm saying, please stay. Because I already know, I'm not whole without you. So if your heart ever wonders again, if doubt ever comes knocking late at night, play this. Remember this. My love, this video will answer everything you feared. And the answer is always the same, I love you. I've always loved you.